Hey everybody, it's Elliott here again, and man, this is really cool. I'm excited to be making this video. This past weekend, I had a great opportunity to attend and lecture at a fantastic event. I was at the Brief Therapy Conference in San Diego, California, and there was one situation that kind of blew my mind a little bit, and I've been thinking about it a lot in the past couple of days. So wanted to share with you what's going on in my head and how it relates to solution-focused brief therapy and the work that I do and that we do and things like that. So towards the end of the event, one of the things that made this event amazing was having the opportunity to kind of get together with so many brief therapists from all around the world who do different types of brief therapy work. And one of my really close friends, colleagues, and mentors, Bill O'Hanlon, was at the event. And you know, Bill and I live in two different states. I live in Texas. He lives in New Mexico, and we don't get to see each other too often because of that. Even though we talk multiple times a week sometimes, but we don't get to see each other too often. So it was cool to kind of hang out with Bill. And Bill, knowing that this was my first time at this event, my first time lecturing at this event, and you know. That sort of thing. Towards the end of the event, he approached me and asked me what I thought of the event, and I told him, I thought it was great and all the things that stood out to me and things of that nature. And then he said to me, what are you going to take away from this event? And, my immediate response is, I'll take away. It's a good event, and I enjoyed the days together and that sort of stuff, kind of superficial stuff. But, as the time has gone by, I had to fly home, and obviously flying provides a lot of downtime. We just got to sit and think. I just thought about that question, and my answer has gone deeper and deeper and deeper. And one of the things that stands out to me is just the rich and robust history that solution-focused brief therapy has within the field of brief therapy. At this conference, I attended a workshop that was done by Wendell Ray and Bill O'Hanlon. Then they talked about the history of MRI, the Mental Research Institute, over in Palo Alto, California, and the role that John Weakland played in the creation of what became known to be brief therapy. And John Weakland went on to mentor Steve DeShazer, and Steve DeShazer influenced Into Kimberg, and so on and so on and so on. And what stood out to me about that is there is a tremendous amount of history, credibility, research to support brief therapy. And when I came into the world of doing solution-focused brief therapy in 2004 or 5, somewhere in that ballpark, there was a real big credibility problem. Like almost every time I told anybody I did solution-focused brief therapy, they would say, oh man, that's a Band-Aid approach, or that doesn't work with this client or that client, or it only works with clients who don't have real problems, or doesn't really work with this nature people or that nature people, and that sort of thing. And people would say, oh, I use that with some of my clients, those easy ones, and all of this stuff. Almost as saying, like, that's just not a credible approach, or not an approach that works with people who have significant issues. And here I am at this conference of brief therapists where everybody, like, there's a profound history of brief therapy and solution-focused brief therapy working with very profound client problems in very difficult client situations. And we have a tendency in today's world to just use research to provide credibility, outcome studies, the gold standard randomized controls and evidence-based and all that sort of stuff. But I think history also provides a bit of credibility, because we would be wrong not to acknowledge that there is a long line of history that started in the brief therapy world and has evolved, and solution-focused brief therapy has evolved out of that. And many people don't know that brief therapy was started by a group of people, John Weakland and Paul Václavic and Dick Fish, and I know I'm going to leave out some names, but just lots of incredible names, Milton Erickson and Gregory Bateson, and I could go on, that just ask themselves, can we make therapy more efficient without costing outcomes? Like, can we make therapy more efficient without sacrificing our ability to produce outcomes in clients' lives? And I think we should never lose sight of that our history evolved out of that. And so when people come out and say, like, oh, this approach doesn't work, or we have a tremendous amount of history and research to support that work that says, yes, it does. And you can do brief therapy to have a tremendous impact on clients' lives and client problems. So that was one of the thoughts that I had as I was flying away, thinking, like, one of the things I will think is, solution-focused brief therapy is even more credible than I thought. And I think it's important that we share that message. So anyway, that's my little spiel for the day. I'm here back in my office with a ton of work to do that I'm buried underneath. Just kidding. I probably shouldn't say buried underneath. I'm actually excited to get off and do some of it, or go off and do some of it. But anyway, thank y'all for checking out my video. Go off and have a great week finding solutions. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Join my email list at elliotspeaks.com, and let's go get them.